So the first grade match is about to get underway on the Tingha side on centre field now. Here comes the Bingra team. The two sides for you. The Tingha side, fullback is Greg Mayfield. The wingers are Greg Schumann and Leighton Blair. The centres, Greg Seagrott and David Whitten. A late change in the Tingha side, David Whitten into the centres. 5/8 Greg Single. The halfback spot, David Lettinger. Jock Single, a late withdrawal. The lock is George Graham. Second rows, Chris Curtin and Ted Payne. The props are Mark Curtin and Chris Luxford. Bernie Anderson as the hooker. The Bingra side, fullback is Mark Redding. Wingers, Murray Stewart and Bradley Rolfe. The centres are Mark Lanigan and Wayne Kennedy. The 5/8 Gary Watts, who is the captain. Half is Darryl Hawkins. The lock, Alan Rampling. Second rows, Wayne Rampling and Mick Walton. The props are Leon Rampling and Steve Cam. And the hooker is John Hogg. Referee for the match is Stan Smith. Quite big sides now. The players, the teams will be competing this afternoon for the Thunderbolt Trophy. It was taken off Tingha last year in the first round by Bingra, but then Tingha went down to Bingra and took it back off the Bingra side. Of course, it can only be won, you can only be lost on your home ground. It can't be lost away from your home ground. Now, we're just correcting a couple of players' tags by the looks of things. Now, Bingra have won the toss, or Tingha have won the toss, should I say. They're defending in the first half of the match, the northern end of the field, which means that in the second half they'll be running into the sun. So Jock Single, who's not playing today, has played his last game with Tingha this season, I think. He's going away working and was expected to play his last match today, but in fact he didn't fulfil his commitments and is out of the side. Kick-off taken by Rampling as he puts the ball downfield. It goes over Payne's head. It's going to be picked up by Leighton Blair, the winger. He's on the run-up field now. Gets out of the first tackle of Hogg, then runs into Leon Rampling. A solid tackle by the prop forward. Also in there to lend to Hammers Cam. Blair, dummy half is Curtin. That's Mark Curtin, I think it was. He runs into a tackle. Could have been Chris Curtin. Yes, it was, outside the quarter. No, it was Chris. Yes, it was Chris Curtin. It's a penalty from the play of the ball as Bingra immediately found inside the 5 metres. Stan Smith ruling that Bingra inside the 5. And Chris Curtin it is who'll take the kick for touch on the far side of the field. And finds touch too. Second kick to be taken by Blair, right on halfway. Bingra winning both earlier matches. Lettinger, a run around, goes to Anderson. Anderson has met a few metres inside Bingra territory. Gets up and plays it. The player down hurt too. It was Walton. Comes out to Single. Single steps in the cricket wicket area and loses his footing as over the top comes Hawkins and Rampling underneath. That's Alan Rampling. Ball played. They're running into the ruck is Mark Curtin. Curtin is dragged to the ground by one arm more or less. And Curtin is ordered to play it. Dummy half, Lettinger. Pass goes to Luxford. Reverses play. Back across the ruck. The fullback Mayfield standing up. Gets under a tackle, a high tackle of, who was it in there? It was the 5/8 and captain. Ball played. It goes to Single on the blind side. Runs hard. Runs straight into the centre three-quarter Lanigan. And he's held outside the quarter. 30 metres out. Fifth tackle. Seagrott, he doesn't know where to go. Now he gives it back to Luxford. And Luxford is held. Greg Seagrott then from dummy half didn't quite know who was taking the ball. He looked blindside, he went to the open side, and he looked blindside again, and finally he let it go on the open side. So scrum packing, 30 metres out from the Bingra line. First scrum of the match, packing down. Halfback Hawkins will feed it for Bingra. It's in, it's coming out to Tingha as it's picked up by Single. Throws a forward pass to Seagrott. Then it's given to Whit in the centre, flying upfield. Chased from behind by Stewart and knocked over on the quarter. Good run by the centre, straight run by him. Ball's going to be played there. Blair at dummy half, away to Graham. Graham out of the first tackle, then falls as he comes to Wayne Rampling. Ball's played inside the Bingra quarter. A loose pass, picked up by Luxford. A pass goes away to Whitten. Links up with Seagrott to Curtin. Now he gives it away to Chris Curtin. Running across here. Back inside it goes to Whitten. Whitten out of the first tackle. Knocked down 10 metres away from the Bingra line. Ball's played. Mark Curtin away to the 5/8. Then it goes away to Lettinger. Lettinger pass goes away. Must have been nearly forward to Anderson. Anderson's in, I think. Yes, Bernie Anderson's in to score. A couple of metres to the left of the upright side. That pass was a bit doubtful for mine. The pass, about 2 passes earlier, and Bernie Anderson has reached out to score a few metres to the left of the uprights, drawing first line for the Tigers. They lead Bingra by 3-0. And who's being called out? It's John Hogg, I think, the prop forward for Bingra. Referee Smith listening to a report from linesman Moles. Now, Gary Watts, the captain's being called out to hear the caution issued. Time has been blown off. I don't know what the caution's about, but linesman Moles was in to report something. I don't know whether it'll be a 7-point try. Anyway, Chris Curtin will have an attempt to convert the try about 5 metres to the left of the uprights. That's an early setback for the Bingra side, who are pretty confident of defeating Tingha today, especially after their 57-7 mauling of Yilgai Imperials a couple of weeks ago. Chris Curtin with a chance to put Tingha 5 points in front. He moves in, and it's swinging left, no goal. To the left of the uprights, and he gives himself a bit of a smack on the arm, as if to say, that's a silly mistake, Chris, you won't get them much easier than that. So it's 5-0, Tingha leading Bingra. Alan Rampling will recommence play from the centre of the halfway line. So number 12 in the first leg of the double. Kick-off taken by Bingra. Ball's going downwards, picked up by Payne. And Payne, the second rower, held in possession, flung to the ground eventually by second rower Wayne Rampling. Mark Curtin, away it goes to Mayfield. Mayfield tries to push off a tackle going across of Hawkins, and he's held about 15 metres inside Tingha territory. Ball played, it goes away to Luxford. Luxford fires a pass to Lettinger. Lettinger another pass further out to Sheeran, went behind him over the touchline. So the scrum will pack down 10 metres inside the Tigers territory. Tingha leading 5-0 through a try to their hooker Bernie Anderson in the opening couple of minutes. Unconverted. So 3-0's the score. I think I said 5, it's 3-0, with Curtin missing the conversion. Lettinger about to feed it in. It's coming out Bingra's end. It's dived on by Watts, as neither halfback was around quick enough to pick it up. And Watts in possession. Ball's going to be played now. Dummy half there, Alan Rampling. Away to Leon Rampling. Runs across field, pushes off one tackle, which slips. It was Lettinger who half took the big prop forward to ground. Ball's played. It comes away to John Hogg, running straight and hard. Runs into Whitten, then undoes a pass beautifully away to Lenning, and he's bumped to the ground by Seagrove. Up and running again, and again Seagrove comes at him with Lettinger over the top, right in the centre of the quarter. Plenty of dust raised too by these players. Pass comes away to Mick Walton, runs hard out of the first line of defence, out of the second line, finally knocked over by Anderson in there. In front of the uprights, it's played, comes away to Watts. Watts a pass away to Alan Rampling, running straight and hard. The big lock forward gets a pass away to Hawkins, who trail him through. And the halfback is held a few metres short. Fifth tackle on Bingra, dived on the play the ball by a Bingra player. That's the sixth tackle. A bit of a mess there at dummy half. Mick Walton it was, who couldn't pick that ball up cleanly. Dived on it eventually, and the referee ruled a sixth tackle. So scrum packing about 15 metres away from the Tigers line. It's 3-0. Neither front rows can get in on the far side. Referee asking them to break up and repack. This time it's in. It's another Tingha scrum win, I think. Ball played, comes away to Graham. Graham the lock forward, running across field, but running hard, and runs into the line of defence, taken off by Hawkins. In there tackling also Kennedy. Ball played, it goes away to Whitten. Whitten steps. He looks a pretty polished player, this setter. Makes ground over the quarter before he's held. Dummy half Mark Curtin goes blindside to Luxford. Luxford runs into a solid tackle. In there is Leon Rampling, also Hogg, and they knock him over right on the quarter, the big prop forward. Oh, the Goliaths come together. Pass comes away to Anderson. Anderson running straight and runs into a tackle of Alan Rampling. Underneath doing the more effective work was Hawkins. Pass comes away to Tingha as they move it. Whitten decides to run himself as he couldn't unload the ball, and he's knocked over just outside the Tingha quarter. That's the sixth tackle, and the scrum will pack down. So scrum to pack outside the Tingha quarter. Score favours Tingha by 3-0 after an early try to Bernie Anderson, the hooker. A barging sort of try, soft sort of try. Tingha in possession with halfback Lettinger diving on it at the scrum base. Quite a while since David Lettinger played halfback with Tingha. He played with them, I think, maybe 2 seasons ago. He's been playing in the centre since then, but with Jock Single leaving the district, he'll be back there on a more permanent basis now. Tingha in possession inside their own half. Goes to Greg Seagrove. The centre goes upfield, runs into a couple of tacklers and pushed back a few metres for his trouble. Ball's going to be played now. Dummy half, Leighton Blair gives it away to Mayfield, and the pass goes to Mark Curtin, and the defence converges on him. Hogg's in there. Also is the hooker Cam, and also Wayne Rampling. It's played, given away to Luxford on the blind side. Luxford puts a little chip in too. Going back for the ball is the Bingra defence. It's going to be picked up by Mick Walton. It's away from Blair, up to the halfway line, runs into Luxford, and goes to ground. I know Darryl Hawkins has come to the wing too, and Bradley Rolfe's gone in towards the halfback spot. Hawkins received him up on the head earlier. Hawkins has gone to the wing. Pass comes to Wayne Rampling. The second row, first run and steams ahead. He made 20 metres. The Tingha defence didn't move up on him. He's met 15 metres inside Tingha territory. Pass comes away to a player going through as Mick Walton. There's only one player trying to tackle him. It's Mark Curtin, but eventually Anderson comes in to lend a hand. It's played. Given away to Hogg. Hogg looks to unload. Inside it goes to Alan Rampling. The lock forward straight through. Fullback to beat. Gets to the fullback. A beautiful tackle by him. Knocks him over Mayfield. 10 metres out in front of the uprights. It's played once at dummy half. A long pass out to Lanigan. Lanigan the centre straight through, and he's going to score. Lanigan has scored about 12 metres in from touch through Witten's tackle pretty easily, and that makes the score 3-all with the conversion to come. Alan Rampling with the conversion attempt just inside the corner, but it's well to the left of the uprights, and scorer is 3 points all, so scores are level, 3 points all after about 8 minutes of play in the first half. Kick-off taken, and the ball's gone back and missed by the Walton, the second rower. Has a pretty unhappy start to this game. The ball's found touch 10 metres away from the Bingra corner, so we're looking at 32 metres out from the Bingra line. Scrum will pack down. Ball will be fed in by Rolfe, who's gone to the halfback spot. Hawkins has gone to the wing. Rolfe picks it up from the scrum basin, comes away with it, but he's picked off by Lettinger. Also breaking quickly was Graham, the lock forward. Ball's played now. It comes away to Rampling. Leon left it behind, picked up by a Tingha player. It was second row of Payne. He lost it also. So the scrum will pack down again. Scrums are 2-1 in favour of the Tigers. Scores are 3-all. Outside the corner, scrum packing. Ball in. Dived onto the scrum base by Lettinger. He's hit by his opposite number, Rolfe, who come through pretty quickly, Bradley Rolfe. Ball's going to be played now. Dummy half player gives it away to Mayfield, the fullback, up in the movement. He's keen for work in the opening 10 minutes or so, Mayfield. He spent very little time back at fullback. He's been up in the forwards most of the time. Missed there by Payne at dummy half, but it's unloaded. Going to single covered in dust. Gets almost to the corner, 30 metres out. There's no marker, so he taps it and runs forward again and runs into Mick Walton. Makes an extra 5 metres. He's now 20 metres short of the Bingra line. Kurt Mark at dummy half. Penley right in front. As, well, not in front, as he runs across field. I think it was halfback Rolfe. It was inside the 5. Penalty goes to Tingha. Let's see, about 10 metres to the left of the uprights. And to Chris Curtin with the kick goal from a similar position from where he missed the conversion earlier. I'll be hoping he's more on line with this one. 3-all with the kick to come. Chris Curtin with a penalty kick at goal to make it 5-3. He's kicked this one, made no mistake, certainly redeemed his earlier failure. So Tingha leading by 5 points to 3 in this first grade match after about 10 minutes of play. Bingra to take the kick off from the centre of the halfway line. Alan Rampling does the honours. A short, shallow kick coming through quickly on the Bingra forge. Well taken out of the air by Hogg. He almost got the pass away too to Rampling. Good movement by the Bingra players. They're in possession outside the Tingha quarter. Hogg will play it. Dummy half, Wayne Rampling. It goes away to Leon Rampling. And the big prop forward trying to reach out of a tackle of Payne, but Payne knocks him over. Goes blindside to Wayne Rampling. He steps and goes straight up the centre. Strippy Rampling inside the quarter. Before the Tingha forwards hold him, he's lost the ball. He gives Chris Curtin a nice old shove in the back, and the Bingra crowd calling for a penalty there, but the referee rules that he lost the ball of his own accord. But the scrum will pack inside the Tingha quarter. Ball's going to be fed in by the halfback for Tingha, Lettinger. He dived on it. He's dived on by Rolfe, but the referee says he wants it to be put in again. This time it's in. It's going to be dived on by Rolfe, and again the referee wants it back in again. The ball has gone over the touchline. Scrub moving in field now. Scrum forming. Ball's about to be put in. It's in. It's dived on the scrum base by Lettinger. Runs across field. Throws a big dummy. He's up. Being taken by fullback Redding, who was standing up pretty shallow. Had Redding have missed him, Lettinger was in the clear. He's lost the ball. Here's a penalty against Bingra. Referee ruled he lost the ball. And the penalty goes to Tingha. About 10-12 metres outside the Tingha quarter line. Penalty there for the ball being raked out of possession. Touch has been found right in the centre of the halfway line. Second tap to be taken by Leighton Blair. There's Mark Curtin, in fact, with the tap, and runs a few metres upfield and then pushed back about the same distance by Hogg. So he's still just a couple of metres in Bingara territory. A pass away to Chris Curtin, the second row. Runs hard, runs into Mick Walton and also Cam. Referee Smith telling Bingara to get back there 5. Pass goes to Lettinger. It goes to Single, goes behind him. It's picked up by Witten, and Witten goes to ground. A few metres inside the Bingara territory. Ball's played now. Single passes it away to Mayfield. Mayfield up over halfway, the fullback. It's held a few metres inside the Bingara territory. Ball's going to be played dummy half. Seagrove away. It goes to Greg Single. Puts a small kick in and chasing it through, but it's going back to be picked up by missed by Hogg. Now he regains the ball as he knocked it back. He links up with the winger on the far side and flying downfield is Stewart. Blair's coming across and Blair comes to him on halfway. He gets away from him and he goes an extra couple of metres upfield. 5 metres inside Tingha territory is held, and the tackle there by Curtin. Here's a penalty against Tingha. It's Ted Payne who's inside the 5. Inside the 5, and the penalty's gone to Bingara. About 12-13 metres inside the Tingha territory. I notice that Greg Mayfield's up in the movement, up in the back line a fair bit. I'm just wondering, it may be well advised if he actually stays back a bit further, because had Stewart made the break then, and he almost did, Mayfield would have been found out of position. But Bingara in possession from the tap. Redding goes blindside from run around, links up with Hogg coming quickly, and the big prop forward is pushed into touch by Luxford, who came across and dropped the shoulder into him. Noticeable too then that when the tap was taken, linesman Meadows was waving his flag frantically, indicating that Tingha players weren't back the 10 metres, but the referee wasn't watching and play was allowed to continue. So scrum packing inside the quarter. 5-3 the score. Tingha lead this match. Somebody's down injured, I think, on the far side. Is it Blair, the winger? I think it is. Blair's okay. Scrum packing inside the Tingha quarter. Halfback Lettinger feeds it. It's another Tingha scrum win as he comes away with the scrum base with it and runs into 5/8 Watts. And also over the top there was another Bingara player. It was second row Walton, who broke pretty quickly from the scrum. Ball's played. It comes away to Single. Single steps and goes straight up the centre. Runs into Rampling, and Rampling picks him up and drops him heavily, Greg Single. Oh, he's hurt him too. Greg Single slowly to his feet on the Tingha quarter. He didn't do him very well at all. Running from dummy half is Mayfield, made a couple of metres upfield. Ball's played, dummy half is Graham. Pass comes away to Luxford. Luxford runs straight into Leon Rampling, and they pick the Tingha captain up. They're going to try and do the same with him. Leon Rampling's in there, but they got him held up in mid-air. They're like a trapeze act at the circus. Unbelievable. Ball's played. It comes away to Payne. Payne runs into Alan Rampling and also Cam. And Cam, he's been ordered to play it. Sloppy play the ball. Pass comes back to Mark Curtin. Away it goes to Lettinger. Pass goes away to Curtin standing wide. An overhead pass to Blair on the wing. Blair got no room to move. He comes back infield. The Bingara defence is in there. And the scrum will back down 15 metres inside the territory of Tingha. Well, that was like a trapeze act at a circus. He was suspended in mid-air. All he needed was a net under him. Scrum to pack. Some of these Bingara forwards are particularly strong, and they specialise in picking the player up and burying. Ball's in. It's picked up at the scrum base by halfback Rolf for Bingara. So the scrum's now 4-2 in favour of Tingha. Bingara possession. Ball goes back to Walton. He goes straight ahead, Mick Walton. Runs into second rower Payne. Short of the quarter. Ball's played there. Dummy half. Hogg fires the way to Leon Rampling. There he goes. Straight ahead. And the Tingha crowd's yelling out, "Get him! That's him! That's him!" Rampling goes around on the quarter. Dummy half is Cam. Fired a pass away to Watts. In reverse pass to Rampling. The lock forward streaming ahead. He's a hard runner. And he's boiled over 15 metres short of the Tingha line. Knocked over in a tackle. Ball played. Who goes it? It goes to Lanigan. Lanigan goes straight ahead and hit in a sandwich tackle between two Tingha players. Centre Witten in there also was another player. Ball played. It goes away to from Rolf. It goes to Hogg. Hogg standing. Back it goes to Watts. Watts doesn't know what to do with it. It goes to ground. That's what he does. At a point about 17 metres away from the Tingha line. Watts is injured too in that tackle, and will be back after Watts receives medical attention. Bingara captain Gary Watts is leaving the field with a leg injury. He'll be replaced by Peter Walton. Interesting to see who goes to 5/8. I'd say Redding will go to 5/8, and Peter Walton will go to fullback. But Watts was injured in a quite an innocent tackle. I think it probably is an old injury that may have fled. He's walking off quite okay, but it must be a pretty bad one for the captain coach to leave the field, knowing how determined Gary Watts is. So Watts is off, replaced by Peter Walton. 5-3. Tinga in front, but they're under pressure. Back in their own quarter. A scrum will pack down when Watts has left the field. Balls to be fed in now by the halfback for the Tinga side. I speak of David Lettinger. Balls in. Referee says penalty to Bingra. Second rows is the ruling. And Bingra will have the penalty. This is a differential penalty, of course. Kennedy, the centre, will take the tap. Takes the tap, gives it to Cam, back to Kennedy, goes to Alan Rampling, who comes straight ahead, the lock foot, out of the first tackle. And runs into trouble, 10 metres out. Ball played, Reading dummies and has hit the tackle. Underneath was Mayfield, good tackle by the fullback. Ball played, they work open side. It comes away to Wayne Rampling, and Rampling heading for the line. He's down about 5 metres short in a tackle under a wealth of Bingra tacklers. He'll play it. Not too happy with some of the treatment he received. Reading too shallow, knocked back by Luxford, picked up by Hawkins, and it goes out to Hogg. Hogg, a long pass out to this side to Rolfe. Rolfe has come back to the wing position. Hawkins has gone back into halfback. He's tackled, ball played. Kennedy, away it goes to Hogg, shows it inside, then runs himself, runs into a tackle, then gives it away to Hawkins, and Hawkins loses the ball. He kicks it over the dead ball line. And the referee calling playback for the first incident, which of course was the knock-on. So score favours Tinga, 5-3. They're under pressure. Only a few metres away from their own line. As I mentioned, Rolfe and Hawkins have switched around. Hawkins has now gone back to halfback. It's a Bingra scrum win too, and pass comes away to Reading. Reading runs into the tackle of 5/8 single in there. Ball's played. Almost kicked through in the play ball, I think it is. Play on, says the referee. Didn't order 6 tackle to go again. Reading, it goes to Mick Walton. Mick Walton dummies a pass, but is met by the Tinga defence coming across and puts him down inside the quarter. Leon Rampling fires it away to second row. Wayne Rampling out of the first tackle, still going strippy. He's 10 metres short of the line before he's held. Ball's going to be played. It comes to Mark Reading. Reading shows the ball and tries to fool the defence into believing he's going to pass it. He's lost it, in fact. It's a Tinga ball. Taken away from Mark Reading in that exchange. Running from dummy half, it was Curtin, I think, and he's held. Ball played, Mark Curtin, dummy half. Quickly it went to Greg Single, who George Graham went without it. Picked up behind him by Payne it was, and Payne is held. Going from dummy half, Mark Curtin, linking up, trying to link up with Blair, but he's taken to the ground outside. He's caught by Rampling. Ball kicked through, it's missed by Blair, locked on by him, as second row Walton tried to kick it through on the play of the ball. Blair knocked the ball on, and the scrum will pack down on the Tinga quarter line. Both sides standing pretty shallow in this scrum. Ball's fed in by Lettinger, picked up at the scrum base by Hawkins, comes away with it, and is met in a tackle on the far side of the field. So scrums are 4-all now. Ball played, Hogg passes it away to Leon Rampling, runs across field, still going the big redhead, prop forward, pushes off another tackle, pushes off yet another tackle, and finally Lettinger and a couple of others knock him over in the centre of the quarter. They'll get up and play it, dummy half there, fires it away to Alan Rampling, runs across field, taken in a tackle by Mayfield, and also in there to lend a hand. I'm trying to pick it up in the dust was Payne. Ball's played, it comes away there to Lanigan, pushes off the first tackle, gets a pass away miraculously to Kennedy. Kennedy dummies. He looks to unload, gets a pass away to Walton. Walton back quickly to another player. They're throwing it anywhere. Hot potato. It's going to be dived on by Tinga as the ball has been lost, and Tinga in possession. Ball played. Coming away from dummy half is Witten. Out of the first tackle, upfield he goes. 17 metres out from his line, he's held. Plenty of action in this first grade match. Ball played. Running from dummy half is Schumann, and Schumann almost reaches the quarter. Ball played. Pass comes away to Greg Seagrott, the centre. He goes over the quarter and runs into the Bingra defence of Cam, and also Hogg there too. Ball's going to be played. It comes away to Schumann, to Graham, to Luxford. Luxford loses. Picked up well by Alan Rampling. He loses. It's picked up by nobody. There'll be a scrum backing down 10 metres inside Tinga territory. Score at the moment favours Tinga by 5-3, but there's nothing in it. As Tinga were under pressure, they managed to take the play away from the danger line. Ball in, it's coming out, Tinga's in, Lettinger takes it away, it goes to Single, the 5/8, almost through a gap, but a beautiful cover tackle by second row Walton, knocked the 5/8 over, short of halfway. Ball played, Witten at dummy half, to Lettinger the halfback, over halfway, gives it away to Mayfield, a pass goes to Seagrott, but he toes it ahead, it's gone back, well taken by fullback Walton on his own quarter, gets away from Seagrott. On the run across field, missed by Mayfield, and then taken by Blair, who trailed him across. Ball's played, running from dummy half is Kennedy. Kennedy makes a couple of metres upfield, taken to ground by Mayfield. It's play given away to Hogg. Hogg runs straight and hard, runs into Anderson. Anderson clings to him, takes him a couple of metres extra upfield as Hogg. Hogg's down 5 metres short of halfway. Ball's played, it's right through on the play of the ball, dived on by a Tingha player. It was inside the 5 metres, but the referee said play on. Mark Curtin in possession. Now Anderson goes from dummy half, and he goes straight upfield. He's 10 metres inside Bingra territory. Ball's played, dummy half, Chris Curtin gives it away to Mark Curtin, both with the knees heavily strapped, the Curtin boys. And he taps it forward. There's no dummy half. If you touch him, Wayne Rampling, you're offside. Referee says play on. 30 metres away from the Bingra line. That's where Mark Curtin will order to play the ball. The crowd certainly going berserk to the left of us here. They're telling Bingra to move it. Tingha to move it. There goes a short kick from Luxford through. It's going to be picked up by Whitten, is it? No, missed by him. Taken by a Bingra player, missed by him. Eventually picked up by Walton. And Walton, the fullback, is held a few metres from his own line. So now Bingra back on their own line. The reverse of the situation of a few moments ago. Walton, second row, is held in front of his uprights. Dummy half is Hawkins. Runs in that position across field. Runs into a tackle of Chris Curtin, but he made a couple of metres in the process, just short of the quarter. Ball's going to be played there. It goes away to Leon Rampling, and the big fella streams ahead. Over the corner, still going. Cam overrunning him. He's still going, Leon Rampling. It takes 5 of them to knock him over. 10 metres inside the Bingra territory. Cam, a dummy half, gives it away to Mick Walton. Pushes off one tackle. He's running with gusto over the halfway line before he sat in on a tackle by Curtin. Don't know which whether it was Chris or Mark. Now a pass goes to Alan Rampling. He puts a high kick up. It's a good kick, but it's going to go out the full, is it? Yes, about 2 metres over the touchline on the full. And the scrum will pack down where Rampling kicked that ball. That was only a couple of metres inside the Tingha territory. Ball's to be fed in by halfback Lettinger. It's in, it's come out Bingra side, taken away by Hawkins from the scrum base. Links up with Redding, who's playing 5-8 dummies and went straight through. He looked for support, gets a pass out, must have been forward as Stewart goes in to score, but it was a forward pass. No try. We can see it was forward from here, and the referee has said not intentional though, because the scrum is going to back down for the forward pass. But you can see from here, the way the pass was thrown, it had to be forward, and the referee's ruled no try. Midway half and quarter, ball scrum packing, 5-3 the Tigers holding on to this slender lead. It's a Tingha scrum when Lettinger comes away with it, gets away to Single. Single runs across, but under a high tackle from Lanigan, going upfield now, and he's taken to the ground by Kennedy. Ball played, it comes away to Mayfield. Mayfield finds the way to Seagull. He went without and knocked it on, and referee will rule the scrum outside the quarter, about 30 metres away from the Tingha line. So another scrum will pack down. Plenty of action in this match. It's all been action. Both sides willing to throw the ball around, and geez, there's some solid tackles going in. Halfback Lettinger's down injured, and we'll be back in just a moment. Okay, Lettinger's okay. Scrum will pack down outside the corner. It's going to be a Bingra scrum in. Knocked on, no, not knocked on by Hawkins at the scrum base. Referee said he can play on. Ball comes out now to prop forward Hogg. Pushes off the first tackle and he gets to the quarter, centre of the quarter, before he's held in the tackle. Taken there by Lettinger, the halfback. Ball goes to Rampling, reverse pass. He goes straight ahead and oh, he loves his solid work. Runs into Curtin and also Lux, but a couple of them push him back. Just inside the corner, he revels in this stuff, Leon Rampling. Ball play, dummy half Cam. Away goes to Alan Rampling. The lock forward surges ahead and is hit in a tackle, 15 metres away from the line. Dummy half is Cam. Looks to unload, gives it away to Redding. Redding props, then goes straight upfield. He's met about 8 metres short. They're putting plenty of pressure. They're raiding away on the Tingha line. Comes away to Wayne Rampling. He spots a gap, but it closes. And he's pushed back, in fact, a couple of metres. That's the 5th tackle. Bingra putting pressure on the Tigers. Mick Walton, pass forward of Hawkins. He tried to kick it. It's picked up eventually by Kennedy. He swung to ground on his own quarter, and the scrum will pack for the 6th tackle. One of our sponsors today is Clunan Brothers, the bulk meat specialists in Byron Street in Burrell. They're the good people for all your meat supplies. They are the exclusive suppliers of meat to the Imperial Hotel for their famous cattle lunches, whether it be 3/4, 4/4, half quarters, full sheep, mince, lamb chops, it doesn't matter. Whatever meat you like require, go and see Clunan Brothers Butchery. They're the bulk meat specialists in Byron Street in Burrell, and raffle trays are a specialty. Clunan Brothers in Burrell. from the scrum win. It's another Bingra scrum winner. There's Leon Rampling going across field. Tries to go through a gap, but a magnificent tackle by a single underneath brought him down. It's hurt single too. Ball, and now referee blows time off. Single in the way of the play the ball. He took Rampling a beautiful tackle around the legs, but he hasn't moved since that tackle. Now medical attention's being required for him. Single back to his feet. About 15 metres away from the uprights. Play on, said the referee. Hawkins gets a pass away now to Redding. Redding pies it back to second row, Rampling. And Rampling is held about 15 metres out. Ball's played. Dummy half Redding gets the pass away now, runs himself, running across field, taken in a tackle there by, who was it, half-back Lettinger, fifth tackle too, and Bingra trying desperately to go in to score. There's Hogg throwing the dummy and trying to surge through, but he can't. He's lost it, has he? Now held up is the ruling, says the referee, and the scrum will pack down about 5 metres, or we'll make it 10 metres now, away from the Tingha line. Well, Hogg obviously was over the line, but he couldn't get the ball down. The referee ruled that he was held up. Lettinger defeated. It's coming out nobody's way. Yes, penalty to Bingra, differential penalty. Rules referee Stan Smith. And here's another chance for Bingra to put pressure on the Tingha side as they raid away inside the quarter. Could this be the old number 3? Kennedy to Cam. Cam dropped it, picked up behind him. Referee rule knock on as Kennedy come around and tried to pick it up. I think what they call the old number 3 was on again, where Alan Rampling comes through on the fly. And he remarked to me after the last match when Gilgai played Bingra, he said, you know, he said it's been around for years and they still fall for it. He's a Bingra scrum winner. Hawkins gives it away to Redding. A pass to Walton, the fullback, up in the back line. He's knocked down inside the quarter. Scrums are 7-6 in favour of Bingra. There's Hawkins making a bust. And he's put down in the dust, in fact, by Curtin. That's Mark Curtin. Ball played. Comes away to Hogg, standing wide the prop forward. Away to Alan Rampling. They're using them wide, the big forwards. Throws it back inside to Cam. Went without it. Dived on by a Tingha player. I think George Graham's come up with it for Tingha. He has. Inside the quarter. It comes out to Greg Schumann. He dropped the ball. It's picked up by Kennedy. And Kennedy's flung to the ground about 10 metres out. So Bingra back in possession. Or sloppy play from both sides, but it's exciting. Pass comes away to Hogg on the blind side. Allowed to pass the ball away to Cam, to Rolfe. And Rolfe is down 12 metres short of the line. Ball's played, dummy half Rampling to Wayne Rampling. Goes behind him. Referee says knock back as he's allowed to run. And he runs into the defence of Tingha. And he's down 10 metres out still. They're throwing everything at Tingha. Cam, away it goes to Leon Rampling. The prop forward surges through. Held up, tries to unload the ball. There's a bit of a monopoly for the ball. He's lost it. Come away through it is Curtin. And Curtin runs into Hogg and he's knocked over 10 metres away from the line. Leon Rampling taking some time to get to his feet. Tingha players down. It's lost by Curtin in the play of the ball. Referee rules a knock on. And the scrum will back down 15 metres away from the line. Now we'll see who's down on here for Tingha. One of the Tingha players, it's Greg Seagrod, is it? Or Lettinger? No, Seagrod it is. Ball's in the scrum. It's come out Tingha's end as Lettinger comes away with it. Scrums are 7 apiece. And the score is 5-3 in favour of the Tigers in what's been a pretty good game. In possession, Mayfield picked up and dropped heavily. Taken by Redding there on the quarter. Ball played, Whitten fires it away to Graham, who goes steaming ahead the lock forward. Or is it single? It could be single. I'm not sure. But anyway, he went steaming ahead. He's outside the quarter. Ball's played. It comes away to Luxford, standing a bit shallow. Tries to push off a couple of players. Runs into Cam and another player there. 15 metres inside the Tingha territory. It goes away to Lettinger. Then it goes away to Payne, to Whitten. Whitten is taken well by his opposite number, though, in Wayne Kennedy. Still 15 inside Tigers territory. Fifth tackle, kicked by Mayfield, might be a good one, is it? Oh, bounces just inside the touchline. It was left by Walton, in fact. Walton thought it was going to go out. He was ready to take it. He was about to go let it go out. And the ball bounced about a metre inside touch and then went out. Poor old Peter Walton, he was a bit absolutely disgusted with himself, but he took the odds to it. It didn't come off. Now, who's leaving the field? Greg Seagrot's leaving the field, I think. And young Williams is coming on. Greg Seagrot's left the field. Williams is on for Tingha. So both sides having to make a change. Ball in it. It's going to come out Tingha's end. Dived on by Lettinger at the scrum base for the Tigers. In possession, going from dummy half is Greg Schumann. I think that's his first time he's caught the ball today. Ball's played. It comes away to second row of Payne. Payne goes straight ahead towards the Bingra quarter. It's time now for the Tigers to put some pressure on the Bullets. Mark Curtin tries to push off Wayne Rampling. They're going to try and end up the old heave-ho. but they can't. Curtin's ordered to play it on the quarter. Comes to Lettinger, gives it to Single. Single to Mayfield up in the back line. Mayfield runs across, but under a high tackle. He's still going, throws it back inside to Single. Up goes the 5/8 towards the line. He's down 10 metres, held there by Mick Walton. Ball played, fifth tackle, Lettinger. Away it goes to Williams. He dropped the ball. Well, I hope he doesn't have a sort of a game he had in reserve grade, Williams. He dropped the ball a fair bit. Scrum backing 15 metres away from the Bingra line. Try and diagnose Greg Seagrot's injury, but he's been lost to the Tingha side. Balls to pack down, 15 out. Referee not happy with it as the ball was taken away by Hawkins. Quite a good crowd here. Now let's see, one of the Tingha players, has it gone down, or one of the Bingra players? Trying to pick up his Guernsey from here. Bingra. It's Cam the hooker has gone down, and we'll be back with just a moment. Scrum packing down. Ball to be fed in by halfback Hawkins for Bingra. Penalty straight away. The referee indicating a second row fee. Differential penalty goes to the Tigers. 15 out from the Bingra line. And several of the scrums, 8-7 in favour of Tingha, the scrums. And the penalties are 4-3 to Bingra. So Tingha in possession, a couple of metres away from the Bingra line. Ball's going to be played now. Almost an intercept, and Luxford knocked the ball on. Dived on by Bingra player. I think Hawkins are in possession. He lost the ball. It's taken away from him, in fact. So the referee has no option now other than to rule both knock-ons. Yeah, it's almost an intercept taken by Cam, and the fact that he came through so quickly, I think, must have unsighted Luxford, the Tingha captain coach. Ball's in. Coming out Bingra's end. Dived on by Hawkins at the scrum base, and he's held. Ball's played, it comes away. Mick Walton runs from dummy half, away from Payne. Payne follows him across and drops him now on a solid tackle. 20 out from the Bingra line. Ball played, comes away to Rampling. Rampling running wide of the ruck, runs into, gets away from a tackle of Witten, still going. Throws it back inside of Lanigan. Good work by Bingra. Lanigan gets to within 8 metres of halfway before he's held on a tackle. Lanigan will get up and play it. Dummy half is Kennedy. It goes away to Hogg. Hogg fires it away to Redding. Redding away to Rampling. Rampling the lock forward. Runs hard and is taken to ground. Up and running again, but doesn't go very far as Williams takes him over the top. All played. It goes away to Hogg. Hogg runs himself across field. Now Dummy's still going Hogg. Now he's allowed to pass it away to Stewart. Stewart flies downfield. Gets away from Blair. Comes back infield and is finally taken to the ground on the fifth tackle. 15 in from in halfway. Ball played. It comes away to Redding, and Redding puts a high kick up, waiting for the ball. It's a heap of them. It's well taken though by, I think it's the Williams, is it? Then he loses the ball. Mayfield, I think it is. Mayfield loses the ball as he went to play it. It was well taken by Greg Mayfield. Plenty of pressure, but then as he got up to play it, he dropped it, and the referees ruled the scrum. Notice that Witten, the centre, is still down for Tingha. He's receiving treatment here. Had a couple of replacements. By the way, the report on Greg Seagrot is that he received a kick or a bump in his good knee, surprisingly enough, and he's left the field. 5-3. Not much point scoring in this game, but it's been a good game. There's another scrum win to Tingha. Mayfield comes away with it. The pass goes behind Blair. Oh, a player kicked it into touch. Who was it? It was Stewart, I think. And the referee will rule the scrum again for the ball being kicked into touch. So another scrum to pack on the quarter. It's no referee not happy. The ball was fed in, didn't really come out either way. And referee wants it to go in again. This time it's in. It's going to come out whose side? Dived on by a Tingha player. I think it could be Pay in the second row, is it, or Curtin? That's Curtin. Ball played, running from dummy half is Graham, and he's flung to the ground in a tackle. Solid one too. He's lost the ball, has he? Penalty to Tingha. A second tackle ruled by the referee, by Mick Walton on George Graham. The penalty goes to Tingha, just outside the Tingha quarter. Kick take, I don't think George Graham knows where he is actually. He's wobbling a bit. He's gone down for attention now. And the touch has been found 15 metres inside Tingha territory. So we've got two Tingha players down. I think it must have dazed him because he didn't really know where he was. Pass comes out anyway. A single, almost a forward pass, but runs himself. I thought he had passed it, but he hadn't. He was hit on a solid tackle by coming across Lanigan. There's no big pardons asked. On the blind side, Luxford throws a pass to Schumann. Schumann hit by his opposite number on this side of the field. That's Bradley Robb. Ball played, running from dummy half is Luxford. Runs straight ahead into Rampling. They pick him up this time, and down he goes. Well, he's achieved his aim, Rampling. Leon Rampling, 12 metres inside Tingha territory. Pass comes away. Lettinger, pass away to Single. Single up and running 10 metres short. He's held in a tackle. Single the 5/8, 10 metres short of halfway. Dummy half there. Curtin pass away to Seagroth. Then it goes to Bernie Anderson. A short little kick, but it's going to fall right into the hands of Walton, the fullback. He's on the run across field now. Up to the halfway. Runs into Lettinger. And another tackle of Tinga. That's Henderson. And he's knocked over right on halfway. It's 5-3 in favour of the Tigers as Hogg is taken from dummy half, but he unloads the ball to Cam, and Cam goes straight ahead, runs into a tackle from Schumann, unloads a pass back to a player who was knocked to the ground savagely. That was Hawkins, the halfback for Bingra. Pass comes away to Mickwalt, runs hard and runs straight. He's knocked over 30 metres away from the Tinga line. Plenty of action in this first grade fixture. Hawkins unloads a pass to Kennedy. He fires it away further out still to Lanigan. Lanigan comes back in field though, the setter, and he's held outside the quarter. Tingaran, we're looking at a 5-3 scoreline. The Tigers in the ascendancy. On the quarter, Kennedy is held. That's the 5th tackle too. On the Bullets. While they do, Alan Rampling at dummy half. Redding puts a kick up, not so deep this time. It's going back to Blair though. Blair loses it in fact. Referee says line dropout as the ball went over the dead ball line. In fact, he took it over the dead ball line, should I say, after dropping it. And as the dropout will be taken from the centre of the halfway line, with the Tigers holding this 5-3 lead. A try scored by Bernie Anderson, and a goal kick by Chris Curtin. And for Bingra, their points a try to Mark Lanigan. Drop kickers, down touch on halfway, on the run up field now. Here's the centre three-quarter Lanigan, he's gone straight through, and he's a fullback to beat, away from Mayfield's tackle. Then he runs into another pass, but he gets a pass away to Rampling, and he's held a few metres short. That was the last die-hard tackle by Single, by the way, on Lanigan. There goes a pass to Leon Rampling, running wide of the ruck, and he's almost through. Unloads a pass to Hogg, he dummies and scores! Yes, Hogg has placed the ball down about 10 metres in from touch. That all came about by the run by Mark Lanigan, who went straight through the Tinga side. He came to the fullback. He got out of Mayfield's tackle, but Mayfield slowed him enough for a Single to knock him over. The ball was played quickly. It came out to Hogg. Hogg had 2 players unmarked outside him. He took the odds, he dummied. They took the dummy and he placed the ball quickly and has scored. So the score line now is Bingra 6, leading Tinga 5, the conversion to come. Alan Rampling with the conversion attempt from just inside the quarter. He comes in, hits it, not a bad looking kick. He's kicked it, is he? 1 up, 1 down? No, says the referee. 1 up, 1 down, no goal. So at half time it's 6 points to 4. For Bingra, the tries, 2 of them, 1 to Mark Lanigan, 1 to John Hogg, 1 for Tinga by Bernie Anderson. Chris Curtin kicked the goal. The half-time scrums 8 all, the penalties are 4 all, couldn't be much more even. The scoreline 6-5 in favour of Bingra, and we'll be back in a moment with all the action of the second half. Kick-off taken, half-time score 6-5, 1 point the difference, but of course 40 minutes of play, there can be a lot of difference. I think there's a change in the Tinga side. I think Vince Gerard is on. I'm wondering whose place he's taken. Dave Whitten has left the field for Tinga, and Vince Gerard's on in his place. So it's half-time, 6-5 in favour of Bingra, just a couple of metres inside Bingra territory. In possession, Leon Rampling. Full steam ahead goes the prop forward, over halfway, and underneath goes Graham. Over the top goes the hooker Anderson. Ball played, it comes away from Hawkins to Redding. Redding steps, goes through, but a beautiful tackle by Squeaky Single underneath, knocks him over. Ball's played, Lanigan dummy half, runs from that position, tries to push off Lettinger. Lettinger comes again, and also with Curtin over the top. Ball's played, 5th tackle on Bingra 2. Redding puts a high kick in the air. Mayfield's got the sun in his eyes. Bingra pouring through, dropped by Mayfield. It's going to be regained by him, I think. Yes, he has. And the scrum will pack down 10 metres away from the Tinga line. Greg Mayfield with the sun in his eyes then. And spilt that ball, but he regained possession. The scrum to pack. 6-5, Bingra leading. That kick just before, just down the half-time bell, where 1 flag up, 1 flag down, may have been a decisive one. Now here's Mayfield, the fullback, making a break from the scrum, and he's knocked over outside his own quarter. Ball's played now, pass to Lettinger. Lettinger fired away to Ted Payne. Ted Payne running across field to Graham. Graham steps inside, 1 tackle, runs into Lettinger and a slam to into Redding and a slam to the ground. 10 metres inside Tinga territory. Ball's played now, it comes away from Lettinger. Pass goes away to Single over halfway, back to Anderson, good play by Tinga. Anderson looks for support, gets out of a tackle on Mick Walton's, being swung around by Walton in fact. And Walton wraps him up on the quarter. Good work by Tinga. That's Mark Curtin. Away to Luxford on the blind side to Schumann. And Greg Schumann has dropped inside the quarter. 6-5 the score. Bingra in front. There's a 5-8 single. Single goes straight ahead and goes to the ground under a tackle of I think it could be Cam in there. He's taken some punishment today, Squeaky Single. Pass goes away to Chris Curtin. Overhead pass to Blair. Blair tries to step around his opposite number. He throws a pass to Mayfield and went around him. He's having a whale of a game, Greg Mayfield. He's still going. Gets away from one player, then taken over the touchline by the halfback Hawkins. And a scrum will pack down 10 metres away from the line. Oh, he's had a great game, Mayfield. He's made a couple of errors, sure, but by golly, he's in there giving his utmost for Tinga. Inside the quarter. Score at the moment. Favours the Bingra side 6-5 at the end of this game. We'll be giving our Man of the Match award with a carton of cans from the Tinga Sporting Club to the Man of the Match. And now the ball has been won by Tinga. Another scrum win to the Tigers. They now lead in the scrum department by 11-8. In possession, Tinga. Pass comes away to Graham, and Graham runs towards the goalposts. Tries to get out of a tackle of Redding, throws the ball back. It's picked up by Gerard, runs across field. He loses the ball. Picked up by Rampling for Bingara. He runs across field, the big prop forward. Gets away from Mark Curtin, trail behind, and hit in a tackle on the quarter. Ball played, running from dummy half is Kennedy. Sees an opening, goes about 12 metres upfield before he's held outside the quarter. It's play there now. Michael Hayes dummies and runs himself, then throws it inside. Is it not Hayes? What am I talking about? It was Hogg, I think, was it? He's held anyway. He's lost the ball. It's picked up by Tinga. Ball comes away there to Schumann, to pass from Williams to Schumann now. Schumann flying downfield. Hit in a high tackle, or a solid tackle, should I say, over the touchline, about 10 metres in, away from the try line. Of course, you can't see it there because of the post, unfortunately, where we're telecasting from. I said a high tackle, I meant a solid tackle. It wasn't a high tackle, it was very legitimate, in fact. Now let's see, I think there's a Bingara player injured on the far side too. Scrum packing, it's a Tinga scrum where Lenger comes away with it, trying to link up with Schumann. Schumann was unmarked, but Lenger couldn't get the ball away. Schumann, dummy half, runs in that position, but runs straight into Cam, and he's held in a tackle. Just out now from the Bingara line. Goes away to Gerard. Gerard going ahead. He's a replacement player for Witten, and he's down a couple of metres short. Ball played, plenty of dust raised too. It comes out to second rower Payne, running across field. Loses the ball behind him. It's dived on by a Bingara player. Good work by the player. It was Walton, was it? Ball play now was Walton, the fullback replacement player. Comes away to Alan Rampling. He steams ahead over the quarter. Hit in a tackle underneath by Mayfield. The fullback's up there doing as much work as anybody. They've got no fullback at home though at the moment. Running across field is Kennedy, and Kennedy's held outside the quarter. Ball played. I don't know if Bingara have spotted that Mayfield's up the line. There's a solid tackle put in by Graham on the second row. Walton. What a great game this has turned out to be. There's Hogg, the prop forward, making a break. Goes away now to Rolfe. Rolfe streaming upfield away from Mayfield. They won't catch him. He's being chased from behind by Schumann. Rolfe's got too much pace, and the winger's in to score. Underneath the uprights, Bradley Rolfe has put the ball underneath the uprights to take Bingara to a 9-5 lead. Conversion to come. That was good work because a pass inside from Hogg to Rolfe. Mayfield was standing shallow. He had been involved in the play earlier, as I mentioned. Rolfe went straight past Mayfield. Mayfield dived, but missed him, and he had too much start on Greg Schumann, and I think it was Mark Curtin chased him, but no, to no avail, and that makes it 9-5 conversion to come from straight in front. Alan Rampling right in front. He's kicked the goal. Yes, he has. 11-5 is the score, and it's very uncustomary to see Alan Rampling only with one goal against his name from 4 attempts, but that's the story. One goal from 4 attempts, and the score has moved on now to 11-5 in favour of the Bingara Bullets, and Tinga quickly recommence play from the centre of the halfway line. The ball's kicked off. It's gone down to Walton, over the top of Walton, second rower, and has found touch outside the quarter. One of our sponsors today is Bobbin in Tootle at the BP service station at Kilguy, and they have petrol oils, Kero, LP gas, party ice, takeaway food, groceries, cold drinks, fruit and veggies, chemist lines, fresh meats, and of course the famous Tootle Burger at the BP Kilguy store and service station. Support the people who support your rugby league and bring you this video. Now it's going to be a Bingara scrum win. No, referee still not happy. Scrum packing on the quarter. When I say support the people who support your sport, support the Tinker Sporting Club too, because they're good people and they're providing the carton of cans for our Man of the Match award today, which is going to be a pretty hard one to pick up. As Vingra have won the scrum. Scrums are 11-9 now in favour of the Tigers. Vingra in possession. A pass comes away to Leon Rapley. He steams ahead. Out of a tackle of Blair. Then runs into Graham. 12 metres inside the Vingra territory. Some of these Tinker players not back there. 5. Hogg steps and goes up towards halfway. Gives it back to Hawkins, who trail him. He comes to Mayfield. Mayfield takes him by one leg, the fullback, and knocks it over 10 metres short into Tinker territory. Vingra starting to run a bit right now. Rampling, running away to Redding. Redding to Lanningham. Lanningham being chased from behind by Williams. He gives it to Redding back inside. Redding flying upfield, gives a pass to Rampling. He's hidden a solid tackle by Chris Curtin. A few metres short, but Tinker under pressure, and 6s and 7s. 5th tackle on Vingra. They're looking good, the Bullets. Cam away goes to Hawkins. Got the over at the halfback. I think he's going to score himself, is he? No, he's held about a metre short. He had players unmarked outside. He had Hogg, Leon Rampling, and also the winger Stewart unmarked outside, and Hawkins took the tackle. It's 11-5, and the Tigers are under pressure. Vingra are coming home in this match. Ball's going to be fed in by Lettinger. It's a Tinker scrum where they'll relieve some pressure. He's taken by Walton, who break quickly from the scrum. Ball's played. It comes away to Curtin, and Curtin streams and he loses it. Picked up by Hogg for Vingra. So Vingra back on the attack, and Hogg's prop forward, streaming towards the line. He's still going. Sheer strength. He's still about a couple of metres short, and he'll play it. It's going to be played out. Comes away to Walton, the fullback replacement. He gets through a couple of high tackles, going for the line and scored. Well, that was horrible defence. Mayfield, another player, went high, and he ducked underneath them, and he's able to put the ball down. He's been injured in the try. But Vingra now starting to really assert their superiority. It's 14-5 with the conversion to come. On camera now you see the Thunderbolt Trophy that the teams are playing for this afternoon. Tinker holding the Thunderbolt Trophy, and of course wherever they play on the home ground it's at risk. Vingra won the Thunderbolt Trophy last year, as I mentioned, when they beat Tinker here, and they look like doing it again today. They're leading by 14-5 with the conversion to come, and that's the prestigious Thunderbolt Trophy. It's certainly a very valued trophy by the teams. Let's watch Alan Rampling now as he has a conversion attempt from almost in front. He hits it, he's missed it! He can't believe his luck. 1 out of 5, and I think 2 weeks ago against Gilgai, he kicked about 9 out of 10. So it's 14 points to 5 in favour of the Vingra side. 14 points to 5, 4 tries and a goal, 1 goal out of 5. That's a disgraceful record for Alan Rampling. Ball kicked off by Tinker. They're down 14-5, but they haven't lost hope. And neither of the supporters. As Hogg's in possession, running across field. But I tell you what, it's a bit ominous. This Vingra machine is winding into action. Greg Single, by the way, has left the field. Jimmy Blacklock's not in his place. Single limping badly to the sideline with a bad leg injury. Left leg injury. Ball played. It comes away now to Wayne Rampling. He's been pretty quiet. Runs up towards halfway and is held just on halfway. Dummy half is Cam. Fires it away now to Hawkins. It goes to Redding. Then a pass further away to Kennedy. He goes back inside. Gets a pass away to Cam. Cam the hooker up over halfway. 12-15 metres into the Tinker territory before he's held. He's lost. No, he didn't lose it. I thought he had lost it for a while. There's from dummy half. Redding takes it away, shows it and tries to go straight through. He's knocked over 30 metres out from the line. That's the 5th tackle. Tapman runs again. Dummies. Now still goes again. Gets pass away to play. Gets it back to Alan Rampling. Alan Rampling heading for the line, and he's going to score. Alan Rampling. Oh, this Vingra machine swinging into action now. You cannot stop it. Believe you me. Ask Gilgai. They know. Alan Rampling has scored about 15 metres in from touch after the initial move was made by Redding. He linked up with the winger on the far side, Stewart. Stewart back to Rampling. He was held, but he managed to get out of the tackle and score. Score is 17-5, conversion to come. 5 tries Vingra have scored and 1 goal. Let's see if Alan Rampling can add to that goal list and make it 2 goals. He hits it. It's not a bad looking kick. I think he's kicked to the stunt. No, to the right of the uprights this time. No goal. So score remains 17 points to 5, and Vingra have put on 11 points in this second half. Tinker running back to the halfway line with plenty of gusto, but by golly, I tell you what, this is ominous. As I mentioned, this Vingra machine, they've torn better sides than Tinker apart, I can tell you. And the way their ball is coming to hand at the moment, they might do the same again today. Kick off taken, and taken on the full by Cam, and Cam on the run upfield and runs into a tackle by Anderson, a couple of metres short of halfway. Ball's going to be played by Cam. Dummy half, Alan Rampling gets a pass away to Leon Rampling. He goes full steam ahead to halfway. Held in a tackle there by Mark Curtin. And Leon Rampling threatening there. He had it cocked, I can tell you. Redding fires it away to Lanigan. Lanigan in the centre on halfway. He's been watching Jerry Cooney too much, I think. A couple of metres into Tingha territory. Ball's going to be played. Lanigan plays it. Dummy half is Kennedy. He runs straight ahead. His centre partner. He goes straight through Wayne Kennedy. Fullback to beat. Comes to Mayfield. Taken by the fullback. Right on the centre of the corner line. Ball's played. Dummy half Redding. Gets it passed away to Hawkins. Hawkins shows it like a circus clown, and he's held it right on the corner. They're swinging into action, the Bingara side. Pass goes away to Mick Walton. Runs across field, but runs one out. He's held just inside the corner. Fifth tackle too on the Bingara Bullets. And Greg Mayfield in there trying to stir up his players from the fullback spot. It goes to Hogg on the wide side of the ruck. He's knocked over. 15 metres in. Now here's a linesman in to report an incident. Les Moles it is. Les Moles, who's he going to call out? He's calling out somebody. It could be Bernie Anderson, I think, for an incident. I don't know what it does. I couldn't see linesman Moles indicating any particular incident. Referee Smith's not too concerned, I don't think. Just issued a quick, stern message. Don't do it again, son, and we'll be friends. Scrum packs down 15 metres away from Tingha's line. Score 17-5 in favour of the Bingara side. It's won by Lettinger for Tingha. It comes to Graham, then it goes to Curtin. A horrible pass. Going back to pick it up is Williams. Williams is cornered on his own in-goal area. He's been taken by Lanigan. There's a player down injured too. One of the Bingara players, I think it is. And we'll be back with all the action in just a moment. And in possession is Curtin. That's Chris Curtin running from the dummy half. Knocked over about 20 out. Ball played on their own quarter. Ball goes back to Mark Curtin. Curtin tries to push off Rampling. He comes again, Rampling does, with the assistance of the second row. Here's a penalty. I think Leon Rampling went in, yes. He went in and you can see what referee Stan Smith's indicating. I don't think it worried Mark Curtin. He had a grin as big as the Sydney Heads on his face. Leon Rampling, I know he was after him. Ball tapped anyway by Tingha. They didn't kick for touch, and Payne goes straight ahead. And he's knocked over outside his own quarter. Ball's played now. Dummy half. Here's Curtin. That's Mark Curtin. Luxford away to Lettinger. Lettinger hit high. Still going. 12 metres inside his own territory before he's tackled. Over the top is Kennedy. Ball's going to be played. Dummy half. Luxford. Away it goes to Curtin. That's Chris Curtin running across field. He runs into Cam. Also Hogg's in there. And they hold him a few metres short of the halfway line. Dummy half this time is Mayfield. Away it goes to Duran. Hasn't done much since he's come on. Runs into Hogg. And he's down a couple of metres inside Bingara territory. Dummy half is Curtin. Away it goes to Luxford. Puts a short kick through. Chasing through after it. He might pick it up. He puts a toe to it again. He's chasing it through. Tries to reach down and pick it up. He missed it. Dived on by Graham. Referee said no knock on. 6 to go. Luxford. A pass goes away to second row of Payne. Then it goes to Lettinger. Pass goes away to Williams. Williams doesn't know where to go. He's stepping and stopping. And he's met in a tackle by the centre three-quarter. That's the 6th tackle. I thought the referee ruled 6 to go again, the signal. I thought that was the signal. He was waving his arm, indicating 6 tackles. But the referee's in the spot and scrum packing 10 metres out. It's Tingha's scrum when Lettinger comes away with it to Curtin, who's playing 5'8". Mayfield hitting the tackle. He loses it, picked up by a Bingara player. So Bingara in possession. There goes running from dummy half Wayne Rampling. Runs into Gerard and also Bernie Anderson in there too. Ball played. Pass comes away to Rolfe, and Rolfe makes a couple of metres across field and is held just short of the quarter. Dummy half Wayne Rampling. Away it goes to Hawkins. Hawkins runs straight upfield. Runs into a solid tackle. Over the top is Graham. And underneath was another player. That was Curtin. That was Mark Curtin. Comes away Leon Rampling. Going straight ahead. The prop forward. He's passed to them. Gets the halfway. Tries to push off Mayfield and is met right on the halfway line. 5th tackle too on Bingara. Dummy half is Cam. Hawkins away to Hogg. Away to Alan Rampling. They're running wide. A pass further afield to Lanigan. The centre streaming downfield, being chased from behind. He's hit a solid tackle and put into touch just inside the Tingha quarter. That's the 6th tackle on Bingara. And the score is 17-5 in favour of the Bullets with this scrum to pack down. Mark Redding was injured now. He's going back to take up his position. Ball's in, it's coming out Tingha. They're winning plenty of ball from the set scrums. Running across field, Chris Curtin and Mayfield, the fullback, coming to the movement, and he's held. Ball's going to be played. 16-9 the scrum count to Tingha. Greg Sherman in the centres now on the wingers Blacklock. Sherman going upfield and is knocked over a few metres outside the quarter. Schumann, a dummy half, Blacklock, runs in that position but runs straight into Mick Walton, and also in there was Rolf too. Schumann at dummy half. I think Lux was going to take this. He does. He takes the ball and he runs straight ahead. He's got Hawkins to beat. He doesn't meet. Tingha in possession from a scrum win now, and they're back on the attack. They're not done with yet, the Tigers. And Luxford, a pass away to Payne. Payne had dropped a little pass. It's going to be picked up by Kennedy and well scooped up by the centre too. Just outside the Bingra quarter. Ball played, running from dummy half as Rolf. Chased across field and nailed eventually by the wing at three-quarter. Now ball's played. Running from dummy half is Kennedy again, and he's upended in a tackle. 12 metres short of halfway by Graham and also Anderson. Cam dummy half. Leon Rampling in possession. He goes straight ahead, big ball. Out of the first tackle, up towards halfway. Oh, he's running with gusto. Back to Cam. They're like Watson and who's the other fella? Sherlock Holmes together. Pass goes. That's pass goes from Rampling. Away it goes to Hogg. And the pass further field to Alan Rampling. Lost, no, I thought it was lost ball, but Stewart's in possession. The winger flying upfield. 10 metres inside the Tingha territory. A high tackle there. He'll be ordered to play it now. Watch out, there'll be a penalty against you, Leighton Blair, if you keep that up. There's Redding, puts a short kick in and following it through. Mayfield's going back for it and takes it well, the fullback. 10 metres away from his own line. He's had a blinder, Greg Mayfield, today. Dummy half. 6 tackles to go, as the referee indicates. 6 tackles to go. Here's trouble. Redding shaping up, as is Chris Curtin. As Curtin was about to play the ball, Redding was in there, and they both started shaping up. Shades at the heavyweight last week, and who's being sent off? 5 minutes, I think. Mark Redding has been sent to the sin bin for 5 minutes. Redding off for 5 minutes, and the penalty's gone to Tingha. Penalty's gone to Tingha, and has found touch just inside the quarter. Redding will take the tap. Payne takes the tap and runs forward, runs into a Bingra player, and is held just outside the Tingha quarter. And we see a penalty go. No, it's a scrum win to Bingra. And Bingra in possession just short of halfway. Score is 17-5. Oh, Tingha a mile offside. Here, have a look at George Graham on the far side. Wayne Rampling in possession. Over halfway he goes. Still going, Strippy Rampling. 12 metres into Tingha territory before he's held. The Bingra crowd very vocal on the far side. Pass goes away from Hawkins to Hogg. Back inside it goes to Alan Rampling. And the lock forward is knocked over. 40 metres away from the Tingha line. All played, running from dummy half is Kennedy. Missed by one player. It was Payne, and he's knocked over by Lettinger right on the quarter line. Score 17-5. Bingra in front. 5th tackle on them too. Hogg this time has a go at putting the ball up. It's going to be too deep, I think. Going back for it. Oh, there's a collision between the two players. Walton dives. He scored. Yes, a try. Mayfield and Blacklock, or was it Williams? No, Mayfield and Blacklock collided as they went for that ball. Nobody called it. It was dived on by Mick Walton, and it's a try. Well, when things are going bad, they're going horrible. They really are for the Tigers. 20-5 conversion to come. Alan Rampling with the conversion attempt at the try scored by Walton. He's kicked it, yes, just inside the right hand upright. And that's another goal of Alan Rampling. The score is 22 points to 5. And 6 tries scored by Bingra, 6 tries. Well, 22-5 is the score. And Tingha aren't done with yet, but it's all over for them. They've lost the Thunderbolt Cup, I'd suggest. We've got about 18 minutes left. Halfback Lettinger puts the kick off, a shallow kick. It goes back where it's taken well by Hogg, the prop forward. He runs up into gets out of Blair's tackle. He's met about 15 metres short of halfway. Crowd pretty vocal on the far side of the field. We've had a game that's had everything today. Mark Redding, by the way, should be just about ready to go back on. These 5 minutes must be nearly up. Cam in possession. Ball played. Hogg dummy half. Hawkins, a pass away to Rampling. Rampling runs straight ahead and is met a few metres short of halfway. They're trying to wrest the ball away from him. Rampling maintains possession. Plenty of dust raised too. He'll get up and play it and says something as he does. Pass comes away to Kennedy. A pass goes away to Lanigan. And Lanigan is met almost on halfway by the defence. Thrown to the ground in a solid tackle by Curtin. That's Chris Curtin. Gives him a tap on the head as he leaves. Ball played. Dummy half Kennedy. Away it goes to Curtin. Puts a short kick in. Going back for the ball is Mark Curtin. He dives on it. Gives it to Mayfield, the fullback. Mayfield on the run upfield. He's had a solid game for a losing Tingha's side today, Mayfield. 10 metres in Tingha's territory is held. Ball's going to be played. Dummy half is Schumann. Runs from that that position, goes up towards halfway, taken into tackle by Walton. A couple metres short of halfway. Dummy half, Mark Curtin gives a pass away to Chris to... Okay, Tingha in possession, just near the Bingara quarter line, the Bingara try line, so I say. We had a few battery problems. We apologise for our break up in telecast. There's David Lettinger down. There's a penalty to Tingha right in front. Leon Rampling received a caution. Now Tingha take a quick tap. Pass comes away to, I think it might be Williams, and Williams is down. Pass goes away to Chris Curtin, then to Luxford. Luxford, long overhead pass to Payne. Payne links up with Blacklock. Blacklock tries to step around Rolfe. Throws a pass back inside as he's flung over the touchline. And in possession is Payne. 12 metres out. You can't see for the post, of course. The pass comes away from Luxford. It goes to Anderson. Anderson plays near this injured play, or probably whole play here. No, he won't. He's play on as it comes away to Mayfield. Then it goes to Chris Curtin. He knocks it on. Missed by a Bingara player in possession. No, referee says knock on both ways. Good decision. Referee rule knock on. And the scrum will pack down just inside the Bingara quarter and in centre field. Score at the moment favours the Bingara side by 22-5. I think David Lettinger's coming off, is he? Leighton Blair's gone into acting halfback, and there's no fullback as the kick's put in on Stewart. Look at him flying for the ball upfield, but it's going to beat him into touch. My word, that was dangerous. David Lettinger's not actually left the field. He's been taken to the in-goal area for treatment. And so Tingha reduced to 12 men at the moment. 22 points to 5 is the score. Conditions getting pretty cold here at Tingha. Telecast brought to you at the compliments of Les Marks over at the Imperial Hotel. Also Bob and Lynn Toodle's BP service station and store at Gilgai, and Clunan Brothers Butchery in Burrell. Clayton Blacklock going on the field for Tingha now. As it's a, who won the scrum? It's a Bingara scrum win, has it? No, referee not happy. A few words exchanged between the prop forwards. Scrum packing 10 metres inside Bingara territory. This time it's in. It's going to be kicked back towards Tingha. It's picked up by, who is it? Blacklock. And Blacklock's picked up and dropped right on halfway. Ball comes away to Mayfield. Mayfield steps over halfway. Chased from behind by Hogg. And taken a couple of metres into Bingara territory. Taps it and runs forward again. Gets away from Rampling. Is flying downfield. Greg Mayfield hit in a tackle by winger Stewart. Oh, he doesn't stop trying this, Mayfield. Hit on the quarter. Ball's going to be played now. Oh, dummy half must have been nearly offside the marker, should I say, as the Tingha player is held on the quarter. 22 points to 5 is the score. It's going to be played now by Curtin. Ball played as pass comes away to Chris Curtin standing wide. It goes to Luxford. Luxford to Greg Sherman. Greg Sherman hit in a tackle by Lenigan right in the centre of the quarter. Fifth tackle, 2 on the Tigers. The ball will be played there. Running from dummy half is Luxford. Puts his kick in far too big. And it's far too big. Bingara will recommence play from the centre of the quarter with a tap kick. Possession. 10 metres in short of the quarter. Ball played. It goes away to Rampling. Rampling's full steam ahead towards halfway. Tries to unload. He won't unload this time though as he's held in a tackle. 22-5. The Bullets are in front in this Thunderbolt Trophy. He's getting closer to Bingara. There goes a pass away to Rampling. Leon Rampling streaming upfield. Held in a tackle outside the quarter. 35 metres away from the Tingha line. Rampling gets up and plays it now. Pass comes away from Hawkins. It goes to Hogg. Hogg runs across field. Shows it. Gives it to Cam. A pass goes away to Rampling. Rampling back. It goes to Walton, the fullback. Then it goes to Rolfe. Rolfe flying upfield. He's got Blacklock to beat. He beats him easily. And Rolfe's going to streak around and put the ball in about 10 metres from the corner post to score a try for Bingara. That's his second try. Score is 25-5. The conversion to come. Alan Rampling with the conversion attempt of the quarter at about 10 metres in from touch. 25-5. Can he make it 27-5? He's kicked it just to the right of the uprights, about 3 centimetres. And it would have been a good kick, but he missed it. 25-5, and Tingha recommence play from the centre of the halfway line. Tingha recommence. Tingha to recommence play from the centre of the halfway line, which they do. As I said, at the end of this game, we'll be giving our Man of the Match award, a carton of cans provided by the Tingha Sporting Club. And in possession of the ball is Tingha player Rampling. It's Wayne. He's held 10 metres inside his own territory. Not too happy with the treatment given by Luxford either. The pass comes away to Cam, and Cam has met 5 metres short of halfway. Ball's going to be played by Cam. He'll get up and play it. He said to the referee Smith, "Did you see that?" Ball comes away to Leon Rampling. He goes full steam ahead, and he takes play a couple of metres into Tingha's territory. He plays it now. Pass. There's a penalty, is it? Penalty goes to Bingra. You've got to laugh at some of these players. Tingha player was coming back from offside. He put his boot to the ball, and the referee had no option other than to penalise him, of course. Just inside the Tingha half. Alan Rampling, is it? Going to have a kick for goal. No, Leon Rampling, is it? Hey, Leon Rampling going to have a kick for goal. This would be the ultimate insult, wouldn't he? I don't think Leon's ever kicked in his life. I could be wrong, but he's certainly going to make it a first now. A few metres inside Tingha territory, about 10 metres to the left of centre field. Leon Rampling with a long-range penalty kick at goal. Leon Rampling, the man who eats steel. A few metres inside Tingha territory. A long-range kick. He hit it, swinging to left. No goal. It had the distance, but it just didn't have the direction. Not a bad attempt by the same token. Mayfield on the run upfield, out of the first tackle. Still going is the fullback for Tingha. He loses the ball, though. Picked up by Wayne Rampling. So Bingra in possession on the Tingha quarter. Ball played, comes away there to Rampling. Alan Rampling streams ahead, gets a pass to Cam, who trail behind him, and Cam has met. About 15 metres out from the Tingha post and right in front. Cam slowly to his feet, plays it quickly through Blair, but Kennedy goes from dummy half and is held a few metres short of the Tingha line. Bingra not content with their 25-5 lead. They want another point. It goes to Redding. He field goals and missed it from straight in front. I think they would have done better to keep the pressure on Bingra. But now the tap will come out for Tingha from the centre of the quarter. This Man of the Match award is going to be a tough one. By golly, if Greg Mayfield had been on a winning side, I reckon he would have been a lay down misère. He's had a solid game, Mayfield, as has Leon Rampling and John Hock for Bingra. There's been some good performances, and Bingra now with the job of holding Tingha back in their own half. Anderson in possession, 10 metres inside his own territory. Dummy half, Payne goes to Luxford. Luxford runs upfield, puts a short kick in. It's touched by Hogg and taken by another Bingra player. Luxford tends to kick a bit too much. Redding in possession now, plays it, dummy half, Hogg, gets a pass away to Hawkins away to Rampling, Wayne Rampling across field to Alan Rampling to Mick Walton, then it goes away to Stewart. Stewart comes back across field, plenty of pace to wing up, going upfield, stands, gets a pass back to Wayne Rampling, he's flying downfield in the second row, over the quarter, and he runs into trouble, loses the ball, it's raked away from him, play on, says the referee, Peter Walton, back to Stewart. Stewart gets a pass away to Alan Rampling, away to Hogg. Hogg juggles it, away it goes to Lanigan. Lanigan runs through a couple of players, still going, allowed to stand. Oh, this is brilliant Bingra football. Ball played out from the uprights. Hawkins away to Walton, and it goes to Hogg. Hogg the prop forward, striding towards the line, and does it as you please. Johnny Hogg has scored 10 metres in from touch. 28-5. Oh, look at the jubilation of some of these Bingra players. That was top-class football by the Bingra side. 28-5. Alan Rampling with the conversion attempt, a few metres in from touch. He hits it, it's swinging across, no goal though. He certainly hasn't brought his kicking boots. Let's have a look how many he's kicked. He's only kicked 2 today, Alan Rampling. Score is 28-5 in favour of the Bingra Bullets, and they've got this cup well and truly wrapped up. Let's have a look. They've scored a total of 8 tries, Bingra, to 1 try scored by Tingha. Tingha were first to score, and that was the last we've seen of them, unfortunately. But the Tingha players, so they know how Gilgai felt, probably not to the same extent, but certainly to some degree how Gilgai felt a couple of weeks ago. Bingra in possession. Hogg unloads it to Wayne Rampling. Rampling streams over halfway, makes 10 metres into Tingha territory before he's held by Luxford. Wayne Rampling plays it, comes away, Cam at dummy half, away to Hawkins, a pass to Alan Rampling, running wide the lock forward, allowed to stand, but he can't get the ball away and he's ordered to play it. Ball played, some of these Tingha players offside by 3 feet. Pass goes back, it's going to be picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy dies on it. The centre three-quarter for Bingara, just inside Tinga's territory. Ball played, it goes away to Mick Walton. He goes straight ahead, and solid tackle ahead, went back Mick Walton. Midway between half and quarter, Tinga's end of the field. Didn't hurt him though. Pass comes away. Reading away it goes to Rampling. Rampling out of one tackle. Leon gets a pass back inside to a player who trailed him through. It was Hawkins. And the half-back is met just inside the quarter. Fifth tackle on the Bullets. Leon Rampling back to Reading. Reading, will he put the kick up? No, he decides to run himself. He tried to fool the Tinga defence and I believe in his kick. They held off him momentarily, but then they came and knocked him over. And the scrum will pack 15 metres away from the Tinga line. The score at the moment favours Bingara to the tune of 28 points to 5. 28 points to 5. Halfback feeds it, gets Bingara's scrum win. Hawkins spots a gap, he's almost through, taken by one leg by Graham. A last is tackled by the lock forward. Dummy half cam, blindside it goes. Swung out to Hogg, Hogg going for try number 3, but he's knocked over. He gets a pass back to Walton, Walton's in. Mick Walton's in. A pass from Johnny Hogg. By golly, you must go close to our man of the match today. Back to Mick Walton. They're doing it as you please now. 31 points to 5, and the conversion to come. Alan Rampling right on full time with the conversion attempt. He hits it, it's swinging across, no goal. The full-time bell in the background. Full-time, Bingara have defeated Tinga. Don't the supporters love it. 31 to 5 at full-time. The Bingara points. 2 tries to Brad Rolfe, 2 to Johnny Hogg, 1 to Mark Lanigan, 1 to Alan Rampling, 1 to Peter Walton. 2 goals to Alan Rampling, 31 points. The Tinga points, a try to Bernie Anderson, a goal to Chris Curtin. At full-time, Bingara have won by 31 to 5. The full-time scrums 18 to 10 in favour of Tinga. The full-time penalties 7 apiece. At full-time, Bingara 31, Tinga 5. We'll be back in a moment with our man of the match award. Our man of the match today is Bingara prop forward John Hogg. John, this may seem a stupid question, but we felt every bone-jarring tackle out here. It was a hard game?
Yeah, very hard. That first half is probably the hardest game I've ever played.
At half-time you led 6-5. Did you ever believe in the second half you'd run away with it the way you did?
No way. We used to collapsing in a heap, but today we didn't for a change. That's probably why we won so easily.
John, it seems to me you play better football, or the side plays better football at Tinga than it does at Bingara when that Tinga goes down there.
Probably got more to prove up here. You know, down home we, confident before we go on. Up here, we're always the underdogs and seem to play that much better.
Yeah. Where do you believe that Bingara outshone Tinga today? What department?
We got more ball than we usually do against them, and we just tackled all day, that's all. Didn't give them much room, and they sort of slackened off in defence, and that's when we could make our breaks.
Tinga still as big a premiership hope as previous?
Sure. That'll be like the grand final, let's say.
OK, John, congratulations. You've won a carton of cans from the Tinga Sporting Club here. You scored 2 tries today. It's a while since you scored a couple, is it?
I've scored a couple every now and again, but, against Tinga, they're worth it. It's worth more than 2.
You won't knock them back?
No way, all the cans.
John Hogg, congratulations. A carton of cans full-time, 31 to 5 in favour of Bingara. They've won the Thunderbolt Cup, as you can see, the Thunderbolt Cup here. Gary Watts, the Bingara captain, is about to get the Thunderbolt trophy, as John Mallis from the Tinga Rugby League Club is about to present it to him. A very delighted Tinga Bingara camp, as you can see, enjoying the spoils of success.
You're going to come over and deserve it. Thanks. Yep. Really good.
Gary, can you just say a few words before you go? First of all, the injury. What caused you to leave the field?
It's knocked stupid again. I think I might have to give it a spell, I think.
What bit of concussion do you think?
I just get knocked. Don't know where I am. That's Greg. Happened once before, and just seems to happen too regular. It's no good running on for a while and then having to go off. So
you must be thrilled the bits the side took on when you left the field.
Oh, they went very well. I think they're better off without me anyway, Greg.
You reckon it might be hard to get back a first-grade spot?
Oh, it would be. Anyway, I don't think I'll be playing. They went really well.
Gary, who did you think were your better players today?
John Hogg and Leon Rampling. I think they really ran hard and tackled. Mark Redding tackled very well, I thought.
This is the game you've trained for all season?
Oh, gee, I'm very thrilled about bloody thing.
31 to 5. Congratulations, Gary Watts.
Thanks very much.
Full time, 31 to 5 in favour of Bingara. They've won the Thunderbolt Trophy. That takes us away from the Bingara Sports Ground.